All right, we'll just get started. I don't know where anybody else is. We got stuff to do. So today's call, I'm going to talk a little bit what I've been doing differently when it comes to all my challengers and customers and prospects and so forth, because I'm finding I just don't have the traction that I want, mainly because, like Benita and I were talking about yesterday, our conversations can last 3 or 4 days. Going through all the questions and waiting for answers and so forth. And sometimes people just get, complacent, or they just lose interest. And really, when people are looking to make a shift like this, they're looking for some quick results, including the answers that they get from us, right? And with our busy lives, we can't always get back to someone right away. So sometimes we lose interest from our customers. So these forms actually came from Alita Steele and her Success Club partner. I don't know if did you guys look at those forms that I posted in the group about an hour ago? Okay. Tracy, did you take a look at those forms?
Not yet. Crazy household.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, once they go to sleep.
Yeah, no worries. So basically how it's set up, actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a share screen. So I have it pulled up so you guys can actually see what's up. All right, so I can't see you guys. Why can't I see you? All right, it doesn't matter if I can see you guys or not. Anyway, so this is hopefully, can you guys see this? Because I can't see you, so someone's got to answer. Yeah, okay. Yep. So this is a form that was created. Alita Steele gave us an example one. So I introduced you guys to Emily Seeley. She is someone I've been using for quite a few months now. And she takes kind of like little tasks away from me that I can't get to. For example, she does our leaderboard every month. I'll get her to go into my back office and pull up the stats and stuff, so I know exactly where everybody is. So all that little stuff that, sometimes we'd like to do, but we don't have time to do it. And those little things I don't have time to do. But I think it's important that we have that stuff. So I hire her out to do that kind of stuff, which for me, my business, it's a write-off. It's 100% write-off. Yeah, it costs me a little bit of money, but I find it worth it, especially when stuff like this happens and I give her an idea and she runs with it. So this form, again, came from Alita Steele and her Success Club partner, Brooke. So for example, here it says, I'm ready for change. Please answer the following questions. And so it gives a bunch of questions to go through. Obviously, what's your name, what's your email, are you a Beachbody coach, do you have a coach, so forth, right? And then it goes into the stuff that we usually kind of ask anyways when it comes to asking these questions. So it's still personal because we're asking all the right questions that we would be asking back and forth, but it's not taking 3 or 4 days. They take their time, they do this form out, they fill this form out, and you get your response. So for example, a couple questions here. Energy is everything. Tell me how you feel. And it gives them the 4 to choose from. I feel like crap. My mood swings are a normal thing for me. My energy stays pretty high. I have amazing energy all the time. And then you go down the list and you got, for example, like this one here. What kind of workouts do you typically enjoy doing? Because everybody has their preference, right? And I ask that with every person I have. What exercise do you do? What do you enjoy doing? What have you tried? What works? What doesn't? Right? So that's right in line with what we're doing, asking those questions. And then all these are pretty much are pretty much from the questions that I made previously with our question and invite guide that I made a little while ago. So it's an easy form for them to fill out. So what happens from here, and so this is a Google Docs form that you guys can make, or I've talked to Emily and she's willing to do some stuff for some of my coaches. So we'll talk about that in a few seconds, depending on what your schedule is like and what you guys want. to do. So that's the form there. So once you get that filled out, they tell you the form is all filled out. And then what happens here is you go to Canva. Canva is actually another program that is really good to do to create, you know, social media stuff. But with this, I've got her to do an actual form that I can fill in the blanks. So let me just bring it up here. So when you get all the answers, I just noticed that. I don't know what's going on there. When you get all your answers, all you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste to this form. Okay, so free, and you guys can market it any way you want. As you can see on the top, it's like free custom health and fitness recommendation for, and you put their name. You'll see the actual example that I posted in the group. And then that's for me, Sean, online health and fitness coach, founder of Create Yourself Fitness. It'll give them my recommendations. And here on the left-hand side, you'll see current body type versus body goals. I think I'm actually missing something there, so I'll have to go back and look at that. So all you're doing from what the form they filled out is you're copying and pasting to this thing. And then on the right-hand side, you're giving your recommendations, right? And this is where you get to get personal, because it's not just, they might be going for one challenge pack, which we all know is the Beachbody On Demand All Access. Why? Because it gives you everything, right? But we can still actually make the program. We can still recommend the program to hit their needs. And that's where we would fill that on the right-hand side, the new nutritional plan, the supplements you would suggest, like Shakeology, maybe Energize. And don't be afraid. This is something that we should probably start working on, is don't be afraid to recommend more than one supplement, right? Because if you guys are using it, then you guys understand what it takes to use these supplements. For example, like I use Shakeology, I use Energize for my pre-workout, and recently I've been using Recover for after my workout. So why not? Why not recommend that stuff? The reason why we don't is because we're afraid that they're going to say no, right? But is that prejudging? I think so. So let me just get out of this screen here just so I can see you guys' faces. So that's just that's us prejudging people, right? So that's like prejudging when we go to invite someone. You know, I'm not going to ask this person because maybe it's not for them, right? Where I've learned in the past, if I didn't ask, I wouldn't have found people like Benita, right? So when recommending something, and whether it's the program and the supplements, why not throw it all in, right? Give them everything. Let them choose, right? And then on that right-hand side where you saw that form, it's broken down. And the way with Canva, the way it's set up on that sheet is you get to download it, and it downloads as a PDF. So it's an actual customized form that you get to send back to them in the email, which I gave an example post in the group of how you can actually lay out your email and attach this PDF. So for one, it's not on the fly. There's a lot of thought that's been put into this form and the way it's set up and how you're sending it back to them. It's professional, and it's asking for that sale, right? It's asking them for their own, how do I put that? You're pretty much telling them that you want to help them, right? And a lot of people have that worry of asking for that, just asking when you're starting. Right, this form is pretty much saying, I've got a spot reserved for you. Starts on May 22nd. If I don't hear from you within 24 hours, then I will understand that this isn't for you, right? Then we do a couple of follow-ups later on. But it takes all that hard work and all that guest play and like, oh my God, what am I going to do next, right? And this form is made for, when we're dealing with, so many people at once. But I think this form can be used for anybody that wants to grow, right? But just doesn't have that time to go back and forth all day. Because I know that I have a ton of conversations, and I lose half of them because I'm trying to manage dealing with everybody at once, right? But this form, they get it, they fill it out, you've got it in your Google Docs, and you can go back to it when you're working your power hour and go through it. Now, this is where the good thing comes in. So Emily has said she would do this for you guys. There's a couple things that she would need from you. You have to have your own Canva account because you save it in your Canva. Okay. But she will set it all up for you in there. So you'd have to give her access to your password and so forth. Again, I've been using her for a while. She has my password. She's trustworthy. She helps a bunch of other coaches. Just this is what she does, right? Instead of coaching, she helps. She's the virtual assistant. So she will do the Canva template for you guys, and she will also do the Google Docs form if you do not have time to do it yourself, right? So if this is a form that you're looking at maybe doing and actually using, then in my eyes, it might be worth the investment. So it takes her, she said, probably about 2 hours. It might be a little bit less now that she kind of knows how to do it, but it'll cost you $40 to get it done, okay? Because she charges $20 an hour. But you know, for the $40 to have access to this and have it all done and you're good to go, I think it's a fantastic price. It's something you don't have to worry about doing, and you can just move forward and just start using it. Okay, so I think it's an investment. Again, it's a tax write-off because she'll send you a receipt. You guys pay her through PayPal. It's a business expense, so in my eyes, it's a tax write-off. For me, she's also said if I don't have time to get back to those customers and actually transfer stuff to Canva by myself, that she would step up and do that as well, right? So when you contact her, and this is something you want to move forward with, then you guys can work out those deals too. But on the flip side, she's a personal assistant, guys. So this is something, if there's little tedious things that you want to do, and maybe not right now, maybe this is something that you're looking in the future to do, and there's these little things that you just don't have time for, that's where you pass them off, right? Just pass them off and get it done. And it's one thing less off your plate. So if you guys ever thought about using a virtual assistant for anything, she's a fantastic person to use. But I think for this Google form, the way it's laid out, the professionalism behind it, the way you transfer to Canva, the way you send them an email, you know, stating this is my recommendation for you. I'd love for you to work with me. I think if we give it an honest shot, I think we're going to see some huge changes in our business, right? Because it's pretty much straight to the point. And if you guys, actually, Alita was here. Alita was here in, what month was that? I don't know, last summer, right? Just after Summit, I believe. So you guys know how successful she is. You know how raw she is, right? So if she's using it and it's working for her, then why not give it a shot, right? What do we got to lose? So I wanted to share that with you guys today because I just started implementing it today. I just got she had the forms done for me within a day. And I got those forms from the Canada leaderboard. So it's not like I stole them from her. She actually put them up there and said, hey guys, this is what we're doing. And then she went the next step and showed us the examples that you guys will see in the group when you open them up. Again, you guys can take the time and do it yourself. Google Forms is easy to do. It just takes a little bit of time. But if you think the investment is worth it, you guys can, in the group, just tag Emily Seeley, okay? And reach out to her and say, you know what, I'd love for you to do this for me. I see that you did it for Sean, and she knows that you guys will be contacting her if you guys want it done. And then anything else you guys want done, if you need anything done later, you guys can take that upon yourselves just to have that contact with her, okay? But I think it's a great form for anybody that's, you know, it's been struggling with the inviting and so forth, because it's direct, guys. It's direct to the point. It's quick. It's done. If they're taking the 15 minutes to fill out this form, you know they're serious, right? So if they're doing that, really the last thing is price. That's the objection nearly at the end. But the way it's presented, the way it's the whole mannerism about it, it doesn't look like we're salespeople, right? Bottom line, we're looking at your goals and we're offering a solution. We have your spot reserved. Are you moving forward? Or are you not moving forward? The rest is up to you, right? So I think it's a fantastic form to be using. You guys look it over in the group. You guys decide what you want to do with that, and then contact her. Me, myself, I'm going forward with it because I see a huge advantage to it, especially with me being so limited in my time and the way that I'm seeing the conversations going 3 or 4 days at a time. This condenses it to pretty much 24 hours, right? So we get a yes or a no And I think a bunch of us can really improve in that point. So I'm going to record. I did record this call. I said I wasn't going to record calls anymore, but I did record this one because I think some of the team needs this form. I think you guys need it. And some of you are on the back burner because you don't really know where to go. You know, we say we're talking to people and we say we're inviting, but we must be missing something, right? So this is another form that will delete missing anything. It's just a matter of us taking action on it and really running with it. So that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the shift shop that I've been doing. You guys saw my transformation pictures and for the 21 days. I can't express how important it is to work on yourselves first when it comes to, you know, what we're doing, because people are following that. People are seeing. People want to see your transformation. People want to see that you're real. People want to see that you're struggling. People want to see that you're caving. People want to see if you're eating cheat meals. They want to see your life. They want to see what it is. And I really took the shift shop as a personal challenge to myself. And it wasn't easy. It's not an easy program. It's intermediate to advanced. It really, your mind plays with you. And what I mean by that, when you're doing, for example, let's say you're doing 10 push-ups and your body is saying, no, you're sore at 6. What do we usually do? We stop, right? And the whole point of this program is he really expresses make the shift. And in the beginning, I didn't know what he meant by that. And what he was saying, and finally I put two and two together, is when your body starts telling you, or your mind starts telling you, you got to stop, take a break, and you stop, you want to make the shift that you want to do a few more. You want to push as hard as you can for that minute, right? And then you guys see the results. Another thing I learned, the scale doesn't mean shit, because I actually, from day 1 to day 10, I was at 209 pounds. And then by the end of the 21 days, I was 211 pounds. So I actually gained 2 pounds. So I was beating myself up because I was watching the scale. And then I was sitting beside Carrie because I took the pictures in the morning and I was sitting beside Carrie at nighttime and I put them two together. I just stared at it. I'm like, oh, wow. And Carrie looked at me. She's like, what? So I showed her. She's like, holy cow. Right? Like, it's ridiculous, the amount of transformation. So I can't express enough how important it is for you guys to choose a program and go from day 1 to the end, whether it's 21 days, whether it's 60 days or 90 days, the choice is yours. But follow it to a T with the nutrition and the workout, because you're not going to get the best results going half-assed and doing one without the other. You can't work out and not eat clean, right? If you're going to do the program, commit to yourself the 21 days or the 60 days and really move forward with it. And then just share your journey. And if you're struggling, share it, right? Because people don't want the fakeness. People don't want, people that have never struggled, right? They got to know that this is a struggle. They got to understand that, sometimes it's hard to eat all the food. Sometimes it's hard to get up to do the workouts. Sometimes it's hard to do the whole 60 seconds of the exercise. And that's what I found. I went in at 110%, but after 30 seconds, my body was beat. I was tired. I was exhausted from the workout. But even though I took micro breaks, it doesn't mean there wasn't one day that I missed. There was one day I had to flip because it was a Friday, and I don't remember what happened. But I just said, you know what, I'm not doing it today. But you get one rest day a week, right? And my rest days are Sundays, so I finished it. I did the Saturday and Sunday workouts instead of the Friday. So I didn't miss any days, and you guys saw my results. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen over the next 3 weeks. I'm going to do it for the 6 weeks up till Summit. Jeannie, if you can happen, just swing by New Orleans when you're there. We got a place. Come by. It'll be fantastic. Where most of us are going to be there. So even if you just come for the super workout on the Saturday, it's something you don't want to miss, because there's going to be 30,000 of us there and taking up 6 blocks. It's pretty phenomenal. And unless you actually see it, it's not the same. So anybody else have anything you guys want to talk about where you're at right now? Struggles that you may be having, something we can work on together as a team. Even if you're having a struggle and you want to just share with the team, the other coaches here can maybe give you some insight. What do you guys got? I don't want to be the only one talking. You guys, someone's got to say something. You guys are so funny.
I'll talk.
Thank you.
I have been sucking at inviting. I'm not going to lie. I did really good. And then I got a bunch of people who wanted to do it. And of course, they don't want to pay any money. They just want to get some meal plans and some free things and some tips. And some commit to commenting and some don't. And then I've got a few gals that are really great. I've started up a gardening group just to get more people, to know more people, because some of the people I find that you get friends with are kind of from It Works and Unique and all that stuff. So they're trying to do the same thing we're trying to do. So I'm trying to find a niche that I actually can fit into, and it's gotten over pretty good. I reached out to a few of the gals today, and one gal actually informed me that she's been watching and getting some motivation. So that's a good point. My chiropractor said I can start running again, but it'll be slow. But there you go. That's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, and that's fantastic. And I've said it before, and we've taught it in our coach trainings and so forth. You got to have 5 things that you want to talk about, right? There's things that you just want to join. It doesn't have to be all Beachbody. It doesn't have to be all health and fitness. I think it's fantastic that you joined a group that's something that you love. You started a gardening group, and that's how you're connecting with people. That's the way it should be. Right? That's how you form with customers. That's how you get to meet people. That's how you grow with people, is surrounding yourself with people that like the same things you do. Right? And that's the reason why that's fantastic, because Tracy, you're going to reach out to those people that I would never touch. You will never see me in a gardening group. Right? And it's not that I don't like gardening. Well, no, I hate it. I'll cut lawn, but that's not my thing. Right? So that's how you connect with people, and that's exactly what's going to happen is, who is this Tracy? You might not think they're following you. People are watching. I don't know how many times I have people join me that after I message them, after I talk to them, they're like, you know what? I can't believe you're messaging me right now, because I have been thinking about this for a while. I've been following you for over a year. And your mind is just blown. It's like, what? You've been watching? But you guys don't realize the impact that social media has. Right? And again, I'm not saying post all fitness, not all Beachbody. I love that you guys are sharing pictures of kids and family and dogs. Right? It blows my mind. Like Jeannie posted some pictures the other day, and I had to do some enhancements to them because I fell in love with the pictures. Like little girls playing in a mud hole. It was fantastic. I'm like, I gotta spice this up a little bit and really make it dynamic, because I loved it. Right? People want to see those kind of things. People want to see who you are. They don't want to always see that you're like, for me, Mr. Fitness, right? People want to see that, but they can't relate to that. They want to know that they can relate to you, right? So another thing I want to talk about, because there's 3 of you on right now, and none of you had the balls to come up and say it, so I'm going to say it. There's 3 of you guys that are grieving right now, okay? And Tracy's not one of them, so that only leaves 3 other ones. Okay, and I want you guys to know, you guys are all on the same page. Benita, Patrina, and Jeannie, you guys are all on the same page. You guys are all dealing with a loss at some point. I reached out to Patrina to find out which book she was reading. I believe it was Good Grief.
Benita's already listening to it. I've already shared it.
But Benita is listening to it. Patrina is listening to it. And Jeannie's getting it in the mail, because I said, it's my gift from me to you, that I want you to read this book. Because I asked her what she was reading. She's like, I'm not reading anything. We all know personal development is a big deal, and it helps you get over life struggles, whether you like to read or not to read. I'm telling you, when you have struggles in your life, something is blocking you, regardless if it's, to be a better leader or it does not have to be business related at all. Right? And I think it's fantastic that you guys are taking in something like that, and learning from it, because that's what helps you grow. I don't know how many times I've read a book that had nothing to do with business, like the 5 Love Languages, right? It had nothing to do with business. But I read that book because I wanted to learn more about relationships, right? Same thing with my girls. I was listening to an audio when I went to go see Scotty in Idaho. I listened for 18 hours or 15 hours, the book was, from here to there, on how to talk to your daughters, right? Because it's something I wanted to learn, something I wanted to be better at. So in this case, all three of you are in a bad place and you're grieving a loss. So I think that's a fantastic book to be listening to, right? If you take something from it. But even better, and I've said this to Patrina before, when you guys are reading this stuff, I want you guys to share it. I want you to share it on your pages, because there's going to be people out there, guys, that want to see that. You're not the only ones grieving, right? There's a ton of people out there that just need some sort of support, some sort of help, someone just to listen. And if they know you're going through it and they're going through it, they just may reach out and say, listen, I see you talking about this book. Like, what is it? Right? And that's how you connect with people. That's the big picture of what we do. Yes, we're falling in love with health and fitness, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to finding solutions to help people, period. Regardless if it's health and fitness, regardless if it's financial, sometimes people just need someone to listen, right? And that's going to go a lot farther. And what's going to happen with that is when you start listening and they actually need help in what we do, that price objection, Tracy, will never come into the picture. Because when people want something, they'll get it. I've seen it. I've done it. If I want something bad enough, I will go find a way to get it. It's not, I don't have enough money. Bullshit. I will go find bottles and bring them to the bottle people if I want something bad enough. Right? And just like all of you guys have all gotten this business. You all had to pay the same thing to get into this business. There was no special deals, right? You paid up the upfront cost. For the most part, all of us are on Shakeology, right? That's a monthly charge, but we do it because we see the value in it, right? And you know what? You guys have noticed I've been doing these interviews, these double live interviews lately, and I'm finding, you know what, guys, this stomach issue, the IBS thing, that's a real thing. 4 out of 6 coaches have talked to me about it already. And these, don't get me wrong, these guys are not queued up. I give them the questions that I'm going to ask them, and it's their words, not mine. And 4 out of the 6 coaches have said, you know what, it's really helped my stomach issues. It's really, like, I've had IBS for years. I did a call with Lisa the other day. She's in her 50s, and she said she dealt with IBS all her life, and for the last 2 years, she has not dealt with it at all, because she became regular, right? So this is a huge advantage for people out there. And I don't think, we talk about Shakeology, but at the end of the day, we're not sharing our benefits that we get from it. We're not sharing the benefits that you get from Shakeology. And when we really start doing that, again, that's when that price objection comes, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, the price objection, because we're showing enough value. When we don't show enough value in what we do and what we have and what it does and the benefits of it, that's when the price objection comes into play, right? But if we can show enough value in ourselves and what we can offer somebody, which again goes back to this form, because the form is so professionally done, gives them the entire breakdown and tells them exactly what we're going to do for them, I think it's going to take away that price objection. And if they say no, it just means they're not ready. Put them on a list to the side. But remember, they're going to be watching you, right? So it's important that you guys stay on track. It's important for you guys to move forward. And if you fall off, I want you guys to talk about it. Today, damn it, I had McDonald's. I broke and I had it. But the next day you're coming back on and you guys are doing your workouts, say, you know what, I'm real, right? You guys want to know what my cheat meal consists of yesterday? I woke up, I went to Tim Hortons, I got a panini, I went to McDonald's, which was literally 2 minutes away, I had a cheeseburger and a Big Mac, and then I went to the Mac store, I had a chocolate bar and a Monster drink, then I came home, waited for Carrie to get home, I had Thai food and ice cream, and it was freaking awesome. And you know why it was awesome? Because I didn't touch that shit for 3 weeks, and God damn it, I deserved it. It was awesome. But today I'm back at it, right? Today's a brand new day. I'm back at it. I'll be back at it for 21 days because I'm going for more results. So we're allowed to, we're human. We're not going after the 6% body fat. We don't want that. We want to live healthier, better lives, right? We all have goals. We're all working towards something. right? Whether it's the financial freedom or to pay off some debt or just to help people or whatever it is, it all starts within. It all starts with us. We take care of ourselves first. And if that means, you know, fighting through depression and we have to read a book to get through it, that's fine. If we have to use us as a family to get through it, reach out. That is what we're for, right? No one is going to reject anybody for reaching out. I don't care if you're my coach and you reach out to someone else in this family, that's fine. Because remember, you guys are all part of the same team, right? You guys have proven it, right? Because Patrina and Benita, you guys had no idea who you guys were like 2 years ago, right? But now you guys are sharing stories. You guys have gone to each other's houses. You guys have done challenges together. You guys are supporting each other. You're sending books to each other. And Jeannie, same with you. You're in a completely different country, but that doesn't mean nothing, right? Because I guarantee when you start rocking, you're going to see a lot more of us, and eventually you're going to see us face to face, right? Because before this, I've never seen any of these guys. And I have coaches all over the States and in Canada, and some are close, some are not, right? But I see them, and Summit is the big place to do that because it's like the homing ground once a year. Benita, what was your struggle yesterday?
My struggle yesterday was I had to go to my aunt's funeral yesterday, and I kind of fell apart. It was weird. It was a celebration of life instead of a funeral because she didn't want a service. She didn't want all of us sitting in a church bawling over her. So instead, we sat in a hall and bawled over her anyway. They had just a few words, and then it was more of like a family reunion around her. And I had a hard time with it because I see a funeral or something like that, the place to go and say goodbye and get my closure. And I didn't get that. I had to leave the hall because I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I ended up at the 7-Eleven to get water because my water was warm. And I phoned Sean, and we had made plans because I was buying a recover off of him. I phoned him and I said, here's where I am, come here now. And he did. Like, he was right there and walked and talked me through it because I was ready to go find the biggest, hugest, bad meal I could think of and eat it. But instead, I reached out to him instead. And it kept me from eating crappy. I got my mind back in order, and it helped me to work through that. It was tough, really tough. But I needed to stay on track because I had promised myself. I had watched the National Wake Up Call just before I'd asked Sean what I needed to do for a program to work for because I wanted to start running. And I needed a program to work with it. And he had suggested T25 the very day I listened to the National Wake Up Call. And there was a coach on there talking about her T25 journey and that she had taken and done like a little 30-second video some days. Other days it was just a post like I've been doing. And she did this 100 days of focus, because if you sit and you look at the full days of that program, it's 100 days, because each of the two beginning ones have 5 weeks in it instead of 4. So I started this 100 days of focus, and I have had virtually 3 cheat meals the whole 28 days that I've been on. That's huge for me, huge, because what I've done is I've just stopped. When I can't do it anymore, then I have something bad, and it's not even really bad, and then I continue moving on. And I have never, ever, ever had a day like I had yesterday and not blown my complete diet. That was the very first time I'd ever done that. I'd ever worked through it without eating my emotions. And I'm pretty proud of myself for that one.
I think we're all proud of you for that one, because it is a struggle. What you guys don't know about Benita is Benita has lost 100 pounds right? But over the last year, she's had more than one loss. And what happens is when she gets a loss, like a lot of us, she's an emotional eater. And she will go out and she will have her cheat meal, but the cheat meal doesn't last one day, right? It goes on for more than one day, which what happens? You focus, you lose your focus, your mindset, your workouts fail, everything else fails. And this time, she actually surpassed that, right? She was saying yesterday, you know what, I've been at the same weight for the last year, but what she realized is she was at the same weight for the last year. She didn't gain, right? We had some back and forth a little bit, but she's on track. And it really comes down to having that mindset of doing what she's doing and why she's doing it, right? Yes, we're doing it for others, but really at the end of the day, guys, we're doing this for us too. Like, we all became coaches for one. Yes, we want something bigger for our lives out of coaching, but really what this coaching does, it really holds us accountable because now people are watching us, right? It was hard for me to post my transformation picture today, right? Because it was embarrassing, because this time last year, almost this time, I already went through that 25-pound weight loss, right? I'm 4 weeks away from that 25-pound weight loss this time last year. And I kept it, and it was awesome. And then once I got back from Summit, I let it all go. I gained that 25 pounds back, right? And this time it was like, I've been trying to do this since January. It's been tough this year. So I didn't want to show that transformation picture, right? Because I was fat. I didn't want to show that picture. It was hard for me to show that. But I want to be vulnerable. I want to show people that there's going to be times that you're going to fall off. There's going to be times that things happen in your life that you're just going to lose track of what you're doing. And the reason why I did post it, for one, thought the transformation was pretty incredible, but for two, it's real life. It's what happens. It happens to all of us, right? But if it can happen to me, and I fell off, but I can get it back for the third time, then anybody can do this, right? So me being a coach really holds me accountable to everybody else. Right. Everything I do is to lead by example, right? For you guys and for our future team and our challengers, and not just my challenge, your challenge, for Scotty's challengers, Scotty's coaches. I help a ton of Scotty's coaches grow as well, right? With no benefit to myself. I do it because I love it. And now that I'm working out, I guess the point what I'm trying to get to is, when you're working on yourself, everything else just comes more clearer, right? Everything else it's almost like it's easier. I don't know if that makes any sense, but when I'm working out, I've been noticing I am not a workout person in the morning, getting up at 5 o'clock. Some of you guys are. I wasn't. I tried for a year and a half. I know when Carrie and I first started getting together, my alarm clock was going off like 6 or 7 times in the morning. And I knew it was frustrating her because she just wanted to kick me. But I'm working out at 5 o'clock in the morning now. I think over the last 3 weeks, I've had a couple days where I had to drag myself out of bed. But for the most part, I'm bouncing out, and my mind shift is different. My day stuff, like, I hate my job, but I'm actually finding myself work at Epcor. Like, I'm actually doing stuff, and I hate that job. I really hate it. But the way my body is and my mindset, I'm actually working. I think my business is growing. I'm seeing some clarity when it comes to the business. I see you guys are coming together in certain aspects of teamwork and team play. And I can't stress enough how important it is to take care of you guys first, right? To take care of physically and emotionally. And for some of us, even spiritually, right? I'm not a big spiritual guy. I never have been. Right? But sometimes you need to have a little bit of faith in others, including yourself, right? And if you're like I said, if you're struggling with grief, if you're struggling with relations, if you're struggling financially, if you're struggling with anything, I want you guys to feel that in this group, what stays in this group stays in this group, right? It's a closed group for a reason, right? You guys can really reach out to each other. And even when we bring on new coaches, you guys will see, like, we've done it. We've done it, the five of us. And really there's about 7 to 9 of us that are really pushing forward. You guys can rely on each other, right? So please take full force of that, because when you guys do that, only great things can come in the future, right? So take care of yourselves, learn, grow, work on yourselves. Again, think about that form, go back to that form, really take a look at it and see if you can benefit from it, right? And if Patrina and Mike, you guys are doing it, I think you guys should double the form. I don't think it should just be under Patrina's name. Mike, I think you should get one too, because there's going to be some people that you contact too that you could just, hey, this is the dealio, right? It just eliminates that 4 or 5 days, which I like doing, but I just don't think it's beneficial to what I'm doing, right? Waiting 3 or 4 days, 5 days to get a no, right? Or to get a yes, or a maybe, or a not right now, right? We're in the business to help people, and I think this way we'll speed up the process to find out if we can actually help someone or not, and just move on and not be hurt by the objection or anything, because the way the form is set up, guys, once you see it, you're gonna be like, Jesus, this is a fantastic form. Like, these are all the questions I ask in a one place, and it gives them 10 minutes to fill it out, and you've got all the answers you're looking for, right? So take a look at that form, find out what you want to do. I've tagged Emily in it, so you guys can either reach out to me or you can reach out to her and say, you know what, Sean just had the team meeting, I've looked over the form, I want to proceed with this, how can we get it done? And she will work with you guys and get it done. She'll tell you what she needs. I think you guys can trust her for you guys giving her your passwords and stuff. She needs the passwords because she has to do it in Google Drive. So you have your Google Drive, you have access, and for your Canva, so you have access to it. So she has to do it in your stuff, right? So number one, you need Google Drive so she can do the docs, which is a free sign up. And then Canva costs something. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it's a one-time charge of $6 or something. I don't remember, you guys. I'll have to look it up. But reach out to her and let her know that you guys are interested. And if you guys are interested, comment in that post. I want you guys to say, you know what, I'm going to do it. And if you're not, that's fine. I don't. That's your business. You guys do. I'm just showing you guys options. But if you are going to move forward with it, say, you know what, comment in that section. Say, you know what, this is a fantastic idea. I'm reaching out. I'm going to get it done. And the reason why I want you guys to do that, because I want the other coaches to see what we're doing, right? If we get enough of this unity, maybe it'll spark some fires underneath the other people in our team. We're like, you know what, this just might work. If they're doing it, I'm doing it, right? But again, it's up to you guys to put the action into what you're doing, right? I can't do it for you. Benita can't do it for you. Jeannie can't do it for you. You guys can't. You got to do it for yourself, right? And that's the most we can do. We can show up every day and move forward, right? But we can't teach drive, guys, right? That's going to be on our new coaches to do it for themselves too. But the culture is just, you guys are doing it. Like, some of you are already in your own groups. So the unity in this team, that's the culture, right? We're here to help people regardless. And if that means we're helping each other first, that's what it means. That's what it's all about. Anyways, it's 20 after 9. I'm out. Bye-bye.